Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. African Villager Pisa is my channel name. So today was my sister's traditional wedding and I wanted to show you how they do a traditional wedding here in the village. So this was our first team. We call them the nurses. They are the people who receive visitors and they were sent out to tag the visitors. So they were first standing here, actually lining up here as they were waiting for the visitors to cut the ribbon so that they will enter and they are tagged. So in our traditional wedding, before the visitors arrive, they're actually supposed to give an envelope before the ribbon is cut. So as you see there, the auntie is seated down. Before receiving the visitors, they have to give some money in the envelope. And even these girls who are going to tag them, they have to give an envelope. So this is how beautiful their first team looked like. They wore the animal print and the black inside plus that yellow bead. Actually, they looked stunning and very beautiful. So I'm going to show you the whole process until when the bride comes out. So this is the first step. So after tagging, the first team came out. Now it was time for choosing the bride. So they had to dance and they were going to send other people who were going to come and see if the bride is in this team. So this was our first team that got out. So the in front person is the auntie to lead the group. The aunt has to lead the group always. And every team has to dance to its best because they were supposed to be given an envelope also. They're supposed to be given some money for being beautiful and for looking good. So this team was supposed to dance until they go to the small tent for the checkup if the bride is in this group. So they had to dance until they had to go and kneel down before the group of boys is sent to see if the bride is in the team. So I was part of this team and I was actually the second last person in this team, and we had to dance until we entered in that small tent ready to be chosen to see if the bride is in this group. So the auntie was in front of us, so we had to move around the tent, and we had worn our asobi. This is a Nigerian wear that is worn in Nigeria. So we really wanted to wear asobi for the first choosing of the bride. So we had to kneel down to wait to be chosen. This was supposed to be a way of them assessing us. There was a group that was going to come and assess us to see if the bride belongs to this group. So this was us kneeling down in this small carpet and in this tent. So the group that was coming was here. So this group had to dance towards where we were in the tent. So they had also to dance to their best because they were going to choose their bride, to see if their bride was in our group. So they danced towards where we were and they gave a speech to tell the public that their bride was not existing, their wife was not in this group. After assessing, they said these were all young girls and their bride was not in this group. So they gave us a small envelope of little money to thank us for the beauty that we've kept, and we're meant to go back. So they decided to escort us back to the direction where we were coming from. So they danced as they escorted us. So we went back, and the next group that came were the aunties. So the aunties were here dancing to their best. So this was the third group that came out, and this group were also supposed to be for assessing if the bride was in this team. So they had to dance to their best as well. So the aunties knelt down in that small green carpet and a small tent that everybody goes to kneel. So this was the group that was going to come and assess them to see if the bride was also existing in that group. So every group had to dance to its best. As you see, they sent a group of old mamas to assess and check if the bride is there. So they had to move around and dance around. And assess them in their face, to see in their faces to see if the bride was existing in that group. So the speech was made after assessing the bride was not in this group. They made the speech and they were ready to let the aunties go back, and they had to lead them to the direction where they were coming from. So they also sent back with an envelope to appreciate them for their coming. So they also went back dancing. So now this was a group that came out with a bride, and there was the bride's sisters, the sisters-in-law, the aunties, the friends, and the matron. So the bride was this lady carrying the fan, and the matron was the one behind her. So here they came with all the groups. The other aunties that went back, the group with a purple dress on, these purple dresses, purple gomeses. So they had to enter through the entrance while dancing. So the auntie had to be in front to lead the way. So here the bride was meant to smile to her best, and indeed she smiled because it was her day. It was really her day, and she looked so stunning and so beautiful. So everybody watched, everybody admired, everyone was happy. So the aunties had to hululate, give all those hululations. So they had to dance, moving forward. So there were other groups like this group. It was a group of children, and they also made it colorful. And there were other groups also on the other side, wearing their sobi. They were all here to make it colorful. So the bride had to dance up to the small tent. So this was a group of girls also. They made it colorful for her. So this was the bride and everybody. So the children also were here, and their Sobe girls were also here. So the group was sent, a group of mamas, sisters, aunties was sent now to choose their bride. They came with all the energy. So they had to dance with all the energy because they had seen their bride there. So they were even carrying things in that basket for welcoming her and for refreshing her. They had some wine in there, some sodas in there, some cakes in there, some splash in there to refresh the bride from the long journey. So the bride had to kneel down with her group members. And a speech was given. So the bride was chosen and the group went back. Then another group now came. After she was being chosen, she went and changed, and now she was supposed to choose the husband, the groom. So she was the one being escorted here in order to choose now the groom. So the sticker was the other side. Jennifer introduces Gabriel. So the groom was called Gabriel and the bride was Jennifer. So she was still escorted up to the small tent. So she left the bridesmaids this way, and she left with the matron now to go and look for her husband, to go and pick the groom. So this was her going to pick the groom. So she had to wave to the people who were seated in front. So she went inside the tent to look for the groom. So she had to dance while looking. So she got him and she hugged him, and everybody was so happy because she chose the right groom, the right person. So she tagged him to show that he's really the one. She had to wear the tag on his coat to show that he's the one. So she picked him and brought him now to go and show the parents. She was so excited that she picked her groom, she picked her husband. Now she was going to show him to the public and to show him to the parents. So they had to wave to the public that I've got him, is the one. Now I'm taking him to the parents for a blessing. Because here when you pick your husband, you're supposed to introduce him to the public and to the parents, and you go for a blessing. So they're going.
Eti mukale buto juba. Atole na